What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight. Okay, hope this is the name of the band, making their debut on the channel tonight. We only have 2 letters here, so is it a name or is... I'm gonna take a chance and just say the letters. We have a band apparently that's called OM. Yes, indeed. How about that? OM making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-boobity bob, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Bren, and this is actually Bren's prioritized request for the month of October for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So here you go, Bren. Hope you enjoy the show, man. Bren wanted to see me react to this. It is like, I'm hoping they're called OM. I'm really hoping that's the case. We got OM with a song called State of Non-Return. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a minute, wait a second, I've heard this before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Drag City, okay? And the video has 2.3 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. OM, State of Non-Return. That's all I got. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
I was gonna say it sounds like a Rickenbacker bass. There it is. Good places I need to pause. Okay. The groove. It's a little on the slower side. Kind of got that dredgy feel to it. You know what I mean? That dredgy kind of, slowly kind of sailing along feel to it. But it's working. It's definitely working. It feels good. And the energy coming off the song feels good. I'm not going to sit here and say it's amazing because I'm not feeling it's amazing at all. But I mean, it does feel good. The intro, it started just ever so slightly to get a little long in the tooth, but right as it started to get a little long, the vocals kicked in. So it walked up to the line and it touched the line with the tip of its toes. You know what I mean? Just barely touching the line. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not put off by it. It's if it had gone any longer, like if it had even gone like 2 measures longer than it did, yeah, I'd be pretty put off by it. But it ended just in time. The bass. I was gonna say it sounds like a Rickenbacker bass. It really did. And I saw the video. It showed the Rickenbacker head. I'm like, oh well, that explains it. Utilizing the octave pedal the way he's doing to drop it down an octave while he's playing up on the neck to get the exact same register, the exact same octave as if he were playing down on the neck. It's an interesting approach. It's not an approach that I've never seen before. I've seen other bass players do it. This sounds surprisingly clean, like really clean. To be honest with you, it doesn't sound like an octave pedal is being used at all. It sounds like he's just playing down the lower register, but he's actually playing up here and he's tapping. So I'm not exactly sure how that's being done. He either has just an amazing, like top of the line octave pedal, or it's being done in post-production in Pro Tools with pitch correction. Dropping it down the octave in Pro Tools. That's a possibility. That would actually, now that I think about it, that would explain why it sounds so smooth. I'll bet you that's what it is. Because I've never heard an octave pedal that clean before. Never. That's a little strange. Now, granted, new technology, new pedals. I mean, they might have made an octave pedal that just sounds super clean. It's possible, sure. I haven't found one yet, but I'm not saying I've found every single octave pedal out there and tried it out. I've tried quite a few, but I haven't tried them all. So, it sounds really cool though. I like the effect. I like the register. I like the tone. I like the octave it's being utilized in. It sounds good. It's the main driving instrument. Drums sound good. The strings, I believe it's a violin. It doesn't look like a viola. It looks like a violin and a cello. Nice accompaniment. It sounds really nice. Now everything's fitting together well. I got no issue with anything I'm hearing. So let's keep going. Let's see where this goes. Am I seeing that right? 5-string Rickenbacker? That's a first. I've never seen a 5-string Rickenbacker before. That's a first for me. I've only seen Rickenbackers in 4 or 6 if you're for the guitars. I've never seen a 5 before. That's weird. I mean, it sounds good. I was wondering how they were getting that low B. I'm like, well, maybe he took his 4-string and, dropped it down, a set of strings. I mean, I've seen bass players do that before. I've also seen them raise them up a set, where we call it a piccolo bass setting, where their bottom string on a 4-string bass, usually it's E, A, D, G. I've seen bass players put their top string instead of an E as an A, and it would be A, D, G, C. We call that piccolo bass, and I've seen players do that. I've also seen them bring it down so that their what would be the E is the B, and they do a B, E, A, D setting. But in this case, he's got the best of both worlds. He's just got a 5-string. That's cool, man. I wonder if Rickenbacker makes a 6. I gotta look into that. I gotta see if Rickenbacker makes a 6. If they do, I gotta pick one up. I was wondering about that low B. Now I see how. It's a 5-string. Cool. Let's keep going. Let the cello take the lead. That's nice. Okay, just gonna pause. That explains a lot when it comes to the bass. I was under the impression that it was either fixed in post, where they dropped it down an octave in post within Pro Tools, or he was using just an amazingly clean top of the line octave pedal. That's not the case. He's playing a 5-string with the low B. That explains everything. That explains why it sounds so clean. He's playing the low B with the pedal, with not in an octave pedal, but he's pedaling the low B, while playing up on the octave, up on the neck. That makes perfect sense. That explains everything. It was good to see the cello take the lead there at the end. That was nice. And it looks like the violin's going to be taking over here. So let's keep going. I have mixed feelings about it. Let me, let me get my thoughts in order here. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was, hope this is right. That was OM with State of Non-Return. This was a request from Bren, and this was actually Bren's prioritized request for the month of October for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, Bren. I hope you enjoyed the show, man. Okay, I did think about it, but I'm gonna be honest with you, folks. I did spend a little time thinking about it, but the funny thing is, the score came to me really quick. Like, the score came to me within 10 seconds, and I was like, wow, okay, that's unusual. The score coming to me so quickly without really giving any thought to it. I wonder why that happened. That's where I spent most of my time, was thinking about why that score that I have in my head was so accurate. And the thing is, after I thought about everything, it took me about 5 minutes, I was like, okay, that score is actually, it's accurate, and it all makes sense. Okay. It was just weird how that happened. Anyway, let's get started with the score. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 6.8. Yep, 6.8. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, it's a pretty good song. It is. It has a solid, steady groove. It does. And the funny thing is, within that solid, steady groove is probably the strongest part of the song and also the weakest part of the song. It's consistent. You could absolutely set your clock to it. I mean, there's no deviation. There's no going off into left field. There's no variations, and it's solid. You can absolutely, depend on this. On the flip side, with following that strength is also the weakness. It was very redundant. It was very repetitive within the groove itself. Now, what saved it from becoming boring was the fact that we had a lot of staggered entrances and exits from a lot of different voicings, a lot of different instrumentation. Now, the drumming was pretty consistent across. There were a couple points where drums laid out, but even then, when they came back in, it was still staggered. Even when it left, it was staggered. It wasn't like everybody left. The drummer left out and the bass player kept right on going with the groove. And then when the drummer came in, he was able to stagger back in again. So everybody had a chance to kind of come in and come out and staggered, so it wasn't all in unison. So the song never actually stopped. It kept going. At least one voice kept the song going all the way through. And because of those staggered entrances and those staggered exits, the song never got boring. It was always, keeping you engaged, keeping the listener interested, keeping the listeners vested by going, oh, wait a minute, we lost the violin. Where'd the violin go? Oh, wait a minute, here comes the cello. And then the cello would play for a while, and then the violin would come back in with the cello. And then the cello dropped out, and the violin kept going. And then the bass kicked back in on the lead line, and then the violin dropped out. And it's like, there's always these constant additions and subtractions. So that was good. There was some variation there. But as far as the groove of the song goes, the chordal progression within the song never deviated. Never deviated. We were in B the entire time. Now, I like B. B is one of my favorite keys. B minor it's a hard, aggressive, really intense key. I really dig it. It's my second favorite key to play in and my second favorite key to listen to. So yeah, I dug that, but at the same time, could we, maybe go down to A or maybe go down to E and then resolve to B? That'd be nice, but instead we stayed on B the entire time. It did get a little repetitive as far as the chordal progression goes and as far as the flow of the song goes. But it's a nice, easy to groove to song. And it is. This is the kind of song you could just put on and just mindlessly zone out to. I could totally see that. As far as the instrumentation goes, it sounds like everybody was playing pretty clean. The drum groove was very simple, very easy to follow. The vocals at the beginning, when the vocals kicked in at the very beginning, very fitting for the song, with the register and the approach. It definitely fit without question. I think the most impressive thing to me was the bass playing. I've never seen a 5-string Rickenbacker before, so that's a first for me. And it explained a lot because I was I saw a Rickenbacker and my first thought was 4-string. So he's playing up on that B, up on the octave, but it sounds like it's an octave down. So he's either using a just amazingly clean octave pedal, which I've never used or heard or seen before, but not to say they're not out there. I've never seen it. I'd love to find one. And then, or it was more than likely being done in post-production where they just dropped him down an octave in Pro Tools. Turns out I was wrong. It's a 5-string Rickenbacker, something I didn't know even existed. And that's where that pedal B was coming from, was from the open B string to get that octave down. And I was like, oh, that explains everything. That's why it sounds so clean, because it really is an octave down. That was cool to see. And what he was doing with the tapping, it was, I wouldn't say impressive. I mean, what he was playing was not that difficult, but it was nice seeing it being done. It was nice seeing a little bit of a different approach to bass playing than what we typically see on the channel. So it was cool to see that. But no, overall, I think it's a pretty good song. Like I said, very repetitive, but it has some interesting things happening within the song. And enough to keep me engaged and enough to keep me from getting bored. So yeah, 6.8, I think it's a pretty good score for what I believe is a pretty good song. So, 6.8, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make a difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.